Once, in a small, quiet village nestled between the rolling hills, there lived a young girl named Elara. She had a love for painting, but her family was poor, and she often had to make do with scraps of paper and dull, old brushes. Her paints were faded, and the colours she dreamed of were always just beyond her reach. Yet, despite the limitations, Elara's art was filled with such passion that it seemed to capture the very essence of life itself. One rainy afternoon, as Elara wandered through the village market, she spotted an old man sitting beside a cart filled with strange trinkets. Among the worn-out objects, one item caught her eye: a small, wooden paint box with intricate carvings on its lid. It looked old, yet somehow timeless. She couldn't explain why, but something about it felt magical. The old man noticed her gaze and smiled mysteriously. "Ah, you have an eye for fine things," he said, his voice soft but rich with wisdom. "This box has a history, you know. It's not just any ordinary paint box. It can give you the colours you've always dreamed of. But be warned, it is not a gift without a price." Elara's heart raced with excitement and curiosity. "What do you mean by a price?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. The old man leaned closer, his eyes twinkling. "The box will grant you the colours of your dreams, but the true cost will reveal itself in time. You must use it wisely. You will paint the world around you, and it will change. But only you can decide how it changes." Elara, hungry for the possibility of brighter, more vibrant paintings, handed the man the last of her coins. The old man accepted them with a nod, handing her the paint box in return. "Remember," he said, "the box holds magic, but magic is never simple." That night, Elara opened the paint box in her small attic room. As she lifted the lid, a soft, golden light spilled out, illuminating the dark corners of the room. Inside, instead of traditional paints, there were small vials of liquid, each one a different hue that shimmered and danced as though alive. Her fingers trembled as she dipped her brush into the first vial, a rich sapphire blue. The moment the bristles touched the canvas, the colour spread like wildfire, vibrant and breathtaking. Elara lost track of time as she painted. Each stroke brought more life into the scene, as if the canvas itself was coming alive. Trees twisted and danced in the breeze, flowers bloomed in full technicolor, and the sky above her transformed into a stunning swirl of gold and crimson. She was no longer painting the world she knew, but creating a new one of pure imagination and wonder. The next morning, Elara woke to find the world outside her window transformed. The village, once dull and grey, now mirrored the vibrant colours she had painted the night before. The trees seemed to hum with life, the flowers bloomed with a brilliance she'd never seen, and even the skies were deep, endless blue. It was as if her art had bled into reality itself. At first, the villagers marvelled at the beauty, praising Elara for her extraordinary work. But soon, they began to ask for more. They wanted brighter colours, grander landscapes, and more wondrous scenes. Elara was eager to please them, so she painted even more: a river of sparkling emeralds, a mountain of diamonds, a sunset of ruby reds. But with each new creation, something subtle began to shift in the world around her. The village, once a peaceful and humble place, started to change in ways Elara couldn't control. The colours that had once brought joy now seemed to distort the very fabric of reality. People became restless, no longer satisfied with the beauty Elara created. Some even became obsessed, demanding more and more from the magical paint box, until it was clear that no amount of beauty could ever fill the growing void. One evening, as she sat alone, Elara realized the true cost of her gift. The magic had transformed the world, but it had also consumed it. The colors that had once brought life now felt like chains, and the beauty she had created had become a prison. The villagers no longer saw the simple joys of life, they only saw what Elara could give them. They had lost the ability to appreciate the world as it was. In a final act of desperation, Elara returned to the old man, seeking answers. He looked at her with sorrowful eyes, as if he had been waiting for this moment all along. "You sought beauty," he said gently, "but beauty alone cannot sustain the soul. You must find balance, Elara, or the magic will consume you as well." With a heavy heart, Elara returned to her attic and opened the paint box one last time. She painted not for grandeur or beauty, but for simplicity. A single tree, its leaves gently swaying in the wind. A calm lake, reflecting the pale light of the moon. Slowly, the colours shifted back to their natural hues. The world outside began to return to its original form, the magic fading into the distance. Elara learned that true beauty was not in the vibrancy of colours, but in the quiet moments of life. The paint box, now dull and lifeless, sat quietly on her desk, a reminder that sometimes the most magical things are the ones we can't see.